Do you want to garden but feel limited by your small amount of space? Stick around while we uncover the secrets of small space gardens. Hello friends, thanks for joining me here at makertable.com. Today we are going to make a vertical herb garden that is great for any sort of tight spaces, small quarters, or if you just want to be really efficient with your space and time gardening this year. This is a great opportunity for you to learn a few little tricks and hopefully have your very own herb garden right outside your kitchen all summer long. So let's get started, and I will show you guys every single step using very simple tools that you can do at your home this weekend. What do we have here? A 30 by 12.5 by 14 inch planter. So from the assembly video, you guys already have a drill with a Phillips head screwdriver on it. Battery's charged, you've got your gloves on. I have added some self-tapping screws that I got from my local hardware store. 2 different lengths. You'll see why here in just a minute. And I also picked up this beautiful Gothic trellis here with the cathedral vaulted top. I think this is a cool look, gonna look awesome on my back deck. We're gonna put all of these together along with some old paint cans that I've got here, and we're gonna make a vertical herb garden for your backyard space. So let's get started here. I'm gonna take this planter, lay it on its side. Then I'm gonna take my cool trellis here, and we're gonna fit it up on the back like so. We're gonna get it pretty well centered. Now I'm gonna take my 1 1/4 self-tapping screws here, and I'm gonna go ahead and screw this trellis. After you drill through a couple pieces, sometimes the drill bit end of these is gonna wear out. Have no fear. They're pretty inexpensive as far as drill bits go. So just go ahead and grab another one, and then you can finish drilling that hole. It'll sink right in. Oh yeah, that sucker's in there now. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way through and get 3 screws on each leg. This is what I really love about steel planters, is way more durable than a wood planter where the screws are eventually gonna rot and pull out, or a plastic planter or a ceramic planter where you couldn't even do anything like this at all really. Steel gives you a great platform to mount anything to. You can also mount these to a wall as long as the blocking will support it using a similar method, but I always love self-tapping screws, especially for any sort of sheet metal project. And if you guys have a set of drill bits, you can definitely pre-drill these out and not burn up so many self-tapping screws, but I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible so you guys don't have to grab too many tools, don't have to have anything too fancy. This is really an attainable project for anybody that has a drill. Once you've got the trellis secured to the planter, now we have ourselves a self-contained unit here. So I'm gonna flip this over, and we're gonna start working on our vertical garden portion. So I'm gonna do a little bit of layout here. I went ahead and already purchased some of my favorite herbs from my local garden center. I've got about 8 that I wanna put up here on the trellis, and then I've got some larger stuff like rosemary and whatnot that I wanna put down here in the base of the planter. So let me see if I have enough space to do everything I want to. Let's do some simple layout real quick. So here's my paint cans that I'm gonna use for little planter pots. Very inexpensive, they hold up great, they're already galvanized and coated. So I wanna make sure we don't mount these too low down here because I am gonna have plants out of the base. So I'm gonna leave this first row empty and start right up here. So I think I have space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I'm gonna space these out a little so that I have plenty of space for the plant to actually grow and get plenty of sunlight, because that's important. All right, so first things first, we need to provide some drainage, of course, because these are gonna turn into pots for our plants, and we don't wanna get some root rot going. So once again, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the tools that we already have available. If you just use your Phillips head screwdriver bit and just turn it on and push, you're gonna end up punching little holes in the bottom of these cans. No drill bit, no special tools required. I'm gonna go ahead and just put 3 per can. I think that should be plenty. All right, we've got drainage in our paint cans now. And now it's time to mount them to our trellis frame here. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our 3/4 inch shorter self-tapping screws here. We're gonna go ahead and mount these to the trellis. So I'm gonna use the screw to drill a little pilot hole right here in the back to make this easier to line up. And I think I'm going to even drill a little pilot hole here in the trellis first. All right, now we got a good little system going. So definitely helps to pre-drill some pilot holes in both the trellis and in your cans. All right, we got our first row on, and basically we're 2/3 of the way there already. We're almost ready to start planting. I want to show you guys an alternate. I found these kind of cool galvanized buckets when I was shopping, and they just didn't quite fit inside of this space very well. But if I found a different trellis, if I made a few modifications to this, I could probably make these work. But I thought, how cute would that be if we had these buckets hanging here, like maybe with some zip ties or a pipe clamp or something. I just couldn't quite get it to work out, so I opted for the paint cans instead. So feel free to freestyle a little bit on the pots that you choose to mount to your trellis. The methods will be similar and the result will be the same. Either way, as long as you start using some vertical space, you'll be a lot more efficient with your garden and be able to fit a lot more plants in a tighter space. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, please go ahead and hit like down below and even subscribe to the channel. I'm coming out with videos regularly, DIY projects, some of our more complex architectural features, as well as just some basic frequently asked questions from the website at makertable.com. So please hit subscribe, please like, it helps support the channel and helps support jobs right here in Robertson County, Tennessee. I think I'm getting better at this as I go along, honestly. The first ones were a little rough and a little bit tricky. Can't say I practiced this before I did the video. This is the real cut, folks. Last one, then we're done. Ready to go and plant. The best part. All right, we moved out here to the back deck, right next to my kitchen door here. We go in and out of this door all year long, and in the summertime especially, when it's real hot in the morning, I love having something really amazing to smell as I come out into the world each day. So when I come out this back door and it's really hot back here, all the essential oils that are in these herbs are gonna be heating up and releasing all of their aroma all over this back deck here. So I come out every morning, I can kind of plan what I'm gonna cook that night for dinner even. So first step here, of course, we need to have good drainage. So we got some basic drainage rock I picked up from the garden center, and we're gonna fill the bottom of each of these planters with that rock. One of the nice things about this vertical garden is, as I'm putting dirt and rocks in here, whatever falls down through just gets caught by this bottom planter for us. So nothing really goes to waste. Not too much mess to clean up when we're all done. Same thing with the watering. Those drainage holes we put in the cans earlier, as we water from the top down, it's gonna drain all the way down through to the bottom of this planter right here. That should give us a really nice, good base to plant our herbs in. So I'm trying to replace all of the dried herbs that I would conventionally be buying from the grocery store all summer long. And the idea here is we spend a little bit of time and energy right now, we can have a higher quality of ingredients to go into our food. And the quickest way to elevate a dish is to just add some fresh herbs. So to start with, I'm actually putting a base down here of citronella. This is not really an herb that I'm gonna eat at all, but this is on my back deck and right next to my back door and my kitchen window. So this is gonna help keep mosquitoes away throughout the season. So that's the first thing I'm gonna put down here is some citronella. You put this guy down, and then next I'm gonna put my rosemary here. Rosemary has some properties in it that will actually prevent and resist ticks. So right now I have my base here. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this. Is going to help keep the ticks and the mosquitoes down here on my back deck and right next to my kitchen. So I want to make sure we don't leave the roots exposed to oxygen for very long. I want to go ahead and pack some soil in around this immediately. Rosemary is a powerhouse of flavor. You can use it to infuse some olive oil. Goes great with potatoes. I like to mix it with some artichokes from time to time. Really versatile, super flexible herb. And this bush right here, it won't do very well indoors. I mean, it might survive for a few months, but you know, more than a season or two, it's not gonna do well. This rosemary right here will actually grow. It's a pretty nice sized bush, so I can transplant it later. If we end up wanting to keep this plant and not replant it every year. But literally all you have to do to harvest this is you come through here and you rip off these green leaves and you leave the woody stalks here on the plant, and it'll just keep regenerating through the entire summer. A lot of people don't know this, but rosemary is actually a member of the mint family. So along that vein, we're gonna go ahead and plant some more of the mint family here. I've got some Greek oregano.
There's a ditch leech.
This oregano goes really good on pizzas. I have my smoker right over here on the deck, and I love making smoked pizzas and adding fresh oregano to the top of it. When you pull it right out of your garden, the flavor and the smell that it releases is absolutely next level. You really want to impress some people. Keep all of your other ingredients the same, your dough the same, the cheese the same, whatever meats you want to use the same, and just add a few little sprigs of fresh oregano, and bam, that thing is going to take off and really impress some people. So next, I've got 2 basil plants here. This one is called pesto basil. I'm not sure if it's any different than the other basil that I have, but this is awesome, of course, for making pestos. Goes great with any sort of Italian dish. And this one's a little bit big for our can. So let me see if I can break up the roots here.
Yeah, that's a trick.
It's gonna be snug as a bug in a rug. And my second basil, which is sweet basil, I really like to incorporate into homemade curries. You know, start with a good coconut curry base and add some of this sweet oregano to it, and it really makes that flavor kick up a notch. And here we go, slides right in. And to round out our mint family here on our mint row is spearmint. This is obviously a classic, shouldn't have to explain it too much to you guys. I really like this added to my sweet tea in the summertime. Spearmint is one of the most flexible herbs in your garden. You'll be able to find tons of uses for it, from pork chops to ice creams to, you know, even some good adult beverages from time to time pair really well with some fresh spearmint. Interesting thing about all of these herbs is the reason why they're so aromatic, why they have so many oils in them, is actually to protect them from animals and rodents eating them. So most of these herbs in this garden right here are going to be considered deer resistant, as well as pest resistant. So a lot of the animals don't want to eat them. Goats specifically are really turned off by a lot of herbs because they taste really bitter to them, and that's part of, you know, the whole design of this genus of plant is the oils that they secrete prevent animals from eating them. But for some reason, us weird human animals love the flavor, the complexities, the smells, and how they interact. The spiciness sometimes of these things really ignite our curiosity and make us want to eat more and more and more, and basically make your dishes more popular than would be otherwise. Here we've got some garden sage. Really, this sage reminds me of being out in the desert in Nevada. They have a lot of sagebrush out there. I used to do a lot of hiking and hunting and riding four-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff out there, and there's just something about that smell of sage that takes me instantly back. Isn't that, crazy how smells can do that to you? Most of you are probably familiar with cooking with sage for Thanksgiving. It's in a lot of turkey stuffing. It's also in a lot of sausages. So if you like to make your own sausage, sage is an awesome addition to that blend. It also has anti-spasmodic properties. So if you have muscle spasms, pulled muscle, stuff like that, this can definitely help relieve some of those issues. I'm not going to say it's a super powerful medicine, but it can definitely make a difference if you include it in your diet, especially fresh out of your own backyard. That's the beauty of this whole vertical gardening thing, is we're going to get a ton of value out of a really small space here. This amount of herbs over the course of an entire summer could very easily get into the $500-600 range for you to buy each one of these fresh continuously from your supermarket. So we're going to go ahead and spend the money one time and then just reap those rewards all season long and late into the fall, even as long as you're weather and climate. The last three here are some major classics you guys are all familiar with. Not doing anything real exotic here. We've got dill, which at the end of the year, I haven't planted my vegetable garden yet. It's still pretty early in the season right now. We love to take our cucumbers and make dill pickles out of them. And when you have fresh dill, once again, chef's kiss, next level. All right, so here we go. We've got cilantro. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's an entire Facebook group called I Hate Cilantro. I'm not part of it, I can tell you that right now. You guys are enjoying this, please don't go into I Hate Cilantro. Instead, please like this video down below and even hit subscribe. Let me know what I'm missing here in the comments. What herbs are essential in your summer dishes that I left out here? So cilantro, for me, is all about the street tacos. And I love making me some carne asada, getting some good corn tortillas, some diced onions real quick, and then just splashing some fresh cilantro on there, man. Nothing quite like it. Really reminds me of home growing up on the West Coast. One of my solid summer favorites. All right, finally here we have some good old parsley. Parsley is not super common anymore. It used to be like probably the world's most overused garnish. I definitely tried eating plenty of it in my day as a kid. Never enjoyed it. Always wondered what it was for. Now I'm on a little bit of a, not a health kick, but just being more conscious of what I put in my body, and trying to be more intentional about sourcing, fresh foods as locally as possible. Not always possible, but this project right here is very possible. So parsley, I've actually been incorporating into some of my morning juices, but what I do know will make a difference in your life is having some solid fresh ingredients to add to your everyday recipes. So I really hope that this vertical garden has given you guys some ideas and inspiration to plant your own vertical garden. Of course, I'd love it if you guys used our planter and some of our products to decorate around your garden and outdoor spaces, but not required. I'd really be much happier if more people just grew their own food and were able to enjoy their dishes even more than they already do, especially when you share them with other people. That's like the beauty of summer cooking for me. The holiday season and the winter time focuses a lot on people getting together and eating, but for me, I love having a barbecue, inviting some people over, and honestly impressing them with my favorite dishes and the things that I grow and make and prepare here at my home. I think there's something special about that, something very valuable. So hope you guys are enjoying your weekend or day, wherever you are, and happy making. Go ahead and do something for yourself. Well, folks, now that the hard work is done, it's time to enjoy my sun tea that I started this morning with a fresh sprig of mint straight out of my vertical garden. Happy making, folks.